All right. Let's go ahead and go to the NQ. We're going to jump over here to the front month, to the June contract, right? You don't have to look at the front month if you don't want to. You can just stay on the continuous contract with the B adjust off and watch it if you want to. You know, I just out of habit, I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm used to watching the front month. A long time ago, I used to always watch the continuous contract, right? But somebody had told me I needed to turn B adjust on because my candles were looking different than theirs, and that used to kind of throw me off from what Michael was showing, but it always showed right on the front month. And so I switched over to start looking at the front month, and now, you know what I'm saying, based off of the recent revelation that I had, right? Shout out Yolanda for pointing. I say, hey man, his B adjust is always off. And then I was like, you know what? That's why, right? And I had a aha moment. You hear me? Okay. So let's jump into it, man. We talked about how price traded down below the liquidity, right? That monthly low that seems to be just floating in the middle of nowhere, right? For the uneducated or the unlearned, right? They don't understand why price bounced off that level right there, right? But we just discussed that. Nice discount sensitivity to that level. A Bitcoin. See how far we shot up there, right? We traded all the way up, right? Creating an inversion fair value gap and trading right up inside this SIBI right here. Is there a gap? Let's see if there's a volume imbalance there. No volume imbalance. So we traded right up and kissed this SIBI. We kissed it today. Let's see how close we came. Did the lips actually touch, or if we teased? Yep, we teasing. We teasing. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. I'm trying to make it as big as possible, but look at here. We teasing. We came very close to that high right there. Right, then take it. Tim, why did you mark that out as buy-side liquidity if it's just a daily high? Because daily highs and daily lows is buy-side liquidity on some time frame, right? I'm a intraday day trader, so when I see daily highs and daily lows, I automatically know that that's a liquidity pool somewhere. And I just didn't like do it from this interval down. And actually that's driving me crazy right now, because you can see this dotted line right here that's just floating in the middle of nowhere. You probably can't see it because the screen be acting so gooforama sometime. Let's thicken it up a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. That line right there, that shouldn't be shown on my daily chart. It's driving me crazy right now. This line right here, right, that shouldn't be showing on my daily chart. It's driving me crazy right now, right? Because I like for my liquidity pools to only show on the time frame or lower where it's an actual swing high or swing low. Now, the only liquidity pools that I don't mind showing are the ones that's marked as a weekly high or a daily high, showing on that level, because I know, okay, but if I got it marked as buy side liquidity, right, I want it to be resting at a swing high so it makes sense in my mind, right? So I'm going to drop down here now and make sure that this only shows on those levels, because that's driving me crazy. And then we're going to get into it. Okay, this is a 60-minute time frame. I can see it showing there. So I'll leave it on that level too, right? So here we go. Now you can see there's a swing high there. So I just want to show on this time frame and lower, right? There's a swing high there, right? So I just want to show on this time frame and lower. So when I go up in time, right, I could have left this one here on the 4 hour, right? Matter of fact, I'll go back and I'll change that, right? 1, 2, all right. All right, so I'll just do this one. I'll just do this one, this interval and lower. Then I'll go to the 4 hour and I'll do that one from that interval and lower. See, now you can't see that other one down there. And then when I go up to my daily time frame, I can't see either of them. Right? So we've come back up right there into kiss that SIBI right there. Now, since we're in a sell program, right? Since we're in a sell program and the monthly and the weekly have imbalances that it can draw into, there's a reason for the monthly and the weekly time frame to come down there, right? Since there's a reason to come down there and we're in a sell program, right? You would want this daily SIBI to act as resistance. You would want it to act as resistance. All right. Now, if we come here, right, mark out this daily SIBI right here, you will want that to act as resistance. Now, why do we want this to act as resistance? Because we have created this bearish fair value gap, right, in the premium of our latest expansion, right? When we initially was about to create this fair value gap, we talked about this. We said, if we create a SIBI right here, right at this time, okay, leaving this area, this SIBI would be resting in the discount of our move. But since we have expanded so far from leaving this area, this SIBI now resides in the premium of our latest expansion leg. Don't believe me? Let's check it. Let's go here and put this on consequent encroachment and or mean threshold, consequent encroachment / mean threshold. Click it on the high of the weekly high, come to the low of the week, right? And as you can see, when we closed out that week, it was in the premium of the move, okay? It was in the let's put it on 3 so we can really see it, right? It was in the premium of the move, all right? And not only, wait a minute, why is that? There you go. Okay. And so then we opened up Monday and Tuesday and we extended that dealing range, right? From that high to that low. We extended our previous week's dealing range. So now, where is that PDA rate? It's resting in the premium. And notice, remember, what did I say about this SIBI from Friday the 27th? I said that we rallied up and created an inversion fair value gap right here, right? What's significant about that? This is the first imbalance that was created after leaving this area right here, right? So after leaving this area, this is the first imbalance that was created after leaving this area. So since that's the first imbalance after leaving this area, right? That's significant. He is important. But guess what? He or she is in the discount of our move. So we don't want to see the algorithm using that as resistance right now. Why? Because we want to see it retrace back to at least equilibrium, which would be right here at 23,862 and a quarter in this case, right? And we want to see it move to the premium PDA rate, which at this case is this bearish fair value gap, the one from the 26th, because it's in the premium of the move, right? This bearish order block right here from the 23rd, because it's in the premium of the move, right? And now, based off the sell program, this bearish order block, this bearish fair value gap, their job is to push price down back below this low and down into these higher time frame PD arrays, if that's what IPTA wants. Oh, if it's only if that's what IPTA wants, right? Now, so that is what you want to be watching for on your daily time frame. These are daily PD arrays up here. So you want to see, right, on a daily basis, price respect consequent encroachment of this SIBI, meaning on a closing basis, you don't want to see price closing above consequent encroachment of this fair value gap from the 26. You don't want to see price closing above mean threshold of this bearish breaker right here. So if you get you a Fibonacci tool, go from the, bearish order block, get you a Fibonacci tool, go from the high of the order block to the low of the order block. You see mean threshold is right up there at the high of the fair value gap. So on daily closing basis, you don't want to see these PD arrays being disrespected. Why? Because based off of our latest expansion leg, these are the only PD arrays up there that's designed to send price back down, right? If these start to fail, right? If these start to fail, then this bearishness is starting to run out of steam, because once you get below a balanced price range and you're bearish, you don't want to see price pushing back through it. You want to see it be used as resistance, right? And right here, we used it as resistance here, right? We got below it, traded back up into it, and displaced away, right? So we're using it as resistance there. So now, since we used it as resistance, now this is the dealer range that we're trading in, and we've come back to a premium, and you want it to continue down, right? So that's what you're looking for on your daily time frame. These are your premium PD arrays that you're looking to be respected to take price back down based off of the sale program. If we start to lose these, right, this is your first imbalance that was created as price displaced down, right? So this was your first based off of leaving this area, right? It has become an inversion fair value gap, right? The sale program stays intact. You would look for this SIBI to push you down, and then you would look for this to become a reclaimed SIBI to take you down, right? Because this is the first when we took off, but this is the first when you left this area. But if we lose this and create an inversion, and we come up here and we take out this high, now you're looking for this first on this displacement down to become an inversion to use as support to take you up and push back through this balanced price range to mount up a rally to continue higher, right? You don't want to see this become an inversion fair value gap. You don't want to see it take out this high unless that's what IPTA wants. If IPTA wants more downside, we've established our structure, we've left our structure, and then we've started to displace away from our structure. Since we've engaged with liquidity, there's always a possibility for a reversal, but since the higher time frame has reason to come down here, we now have the PD arrays that we need to watch to see if IPTA still wants this, and we now understand, use this as resistance, use this as a reclaim and continue down, or lose this and use this as support as an inversion fair value gap to mount up and take off to the upside. Jesus Christ.
Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Y'all do me a favor, man. Hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed, man.